ultimately they're not worth their supply in comparison to higher tech units like High Templar, Archons, Immortals, or Colossi. Whereas Marines and Marauders actually can still be valuable. I mean, like, the way that Terran counters Ultralisk is by getting mass numbers of Marines. All that requires is them switching around some buildings. So for a bio build, 2 racks, 3 racks, 4 racks pushes are fairly common. The 3 and 4 racks are far more all in. 2 racks you can do as a good pressure build where it's just like you do some damage at the beginning and then transition out of it by macroing. You'll see a lot of players like MMA or Boxer, Bomber, TLO before he switched do that kind of aggression. MMA especially. He has something like an 80% win rate versus Zerg, which is absolutely unbelievably high. And that there's a reason for that. He's very good at pressuring them so that they can't get their macro up. Um, Out of all the races, Terran by far has the most like pressure type stuff, harassment builds. So you can go with Cloaked Banshees, Reapers, Hellions, and then playing up Marine pushes or drops, that kind of stuff. So Hellions really, really freaking good versus Zerg. They're good against the other ones as well if you can manage to get enough of them plus Blue Flame. But the problem is, like, especially versus Protoss Stalkers, to start shutting them down after a little bit. But you know, as Terran, there's so many options. You can really switch it up very quickly and very effectively. Yeah, it's definitely a good race, and honestly, Selig noob. Honestly, though, like it's one of the reasons why they have such a high showing at a lot of tournaments. Like for instance, at what was it? It's oh, what's the name? MLG Winter Arena, I think. Um, Even though Protoss just got buffed a bunch, even though the Zerg players are doing phenomenally right now, what you end up seeing is even though Naniwa was playing, you play on KR. What the hell is KR? Um, Nani was a Protoss player. He took out Leenock, Nest and Liquid Cheth, who are 3 of the best Zerg players in the row. He then lost to Dong Regu. So you still see that there's ways where stuff kind of switches up. And then, and no, I don't play on a Korean server. Selig, you know this. Selig, come on, man. Um, And so then what you end up finding is that people like Marine King just suddenly pop up and win the tournament. You know, Marine King is one of those Terran players who's been around forever. He's awesome. Everyone loves him. He seems like he's a really cool guy. But and he's got really solid mechanics. Don't get me wrong. But again, there's a certain way in which Terran is just really hard to counter at times. They have a lot of options to just switch things up on you. I personally prefer Protoss. I played Protoss with Brood War. It's just something that kind of appeals to me from like a stylistic choice, but it's entirely a personal decision. See, like if you actually are Zubin, and I think you are, if you have anything to add in chat, that'd be wonderful. Also, for the other players watching, who I'm not exactly sure who it might be Dennis. You can say hi if you're not one of my friends. Just a thought. Um, And Zubin, you know I don't read Korean. I've had them live in my house as exchange students, but I don't read Korean. Sorry. Um, but yeah, any other Inquestors in Festus before I go to another game? Da-da-da. One sec, checking a couple other things right now. Why does it say I'm offline on Team Liquid? Because I didn't refresh the page, that's why. Sure, what do you need to know? Also, I'm going to turn on a little bit of music in the background. Tell me if it gets too loud. That is once Media Player actually like loads up. I know I use Media Player. I should switch to something else. I'm just lazy. Oh, really? A Daft Punk song? Oh, God. I actually want to find a song that I like. Um, Actually, I don't really like any of the songs on this list. Why did I choose this? That's not true. I like this song. Okay, yes, that 2-Rex build, or a build I could practice for lower league. Sure. Actually, Zubin, if you're still here, if you want to tell him a 2-Rex, that'd be great. Otherwise, if you don't show up in a second, I'll tell him. Um, so 2-Rex build, it's a good pressure build, oftentimes. Otherwise, you'll see a person do a 1-Rex build plus supply depot into orbital command into whatever tech they're going. 2-Rexes are fairly good, though. I'm going to give you the one versus Protoss, because that's the one I know the best. There's other variations, for sure, but, yeah, let's see. Give me a second. The basic build order is 10 supply depot, 12 refinery, I think, 13 barracks, 16 or 17 orbital command, I think, plus a second supply depot, and reactor to barracks. You might have to throw down another supply depot at some point, and you're also continually producing SCVs in case you don't know this already. Build second barracks once you've started the reactor on the first one. When that finishes, put a tech lab on it and add 2 SCVs to the refineries. Or that might still be one refinery. So you build the Marines, then you can get a command center if you're doing an expand. If you're going more all-in, you might either just start macroing harder, or since you're lower league, that may be all you can manage at some time. You get concussive shells out of the tech lab once it finishes for the Marauders. That's an invaluable upgrade versus Protoss. Oh, sorry. I'm not actually sure how loud it is on stream, so I'm just going to turn it off. I haven't downloaded a what's it called? Media, shifter thing, panel. Can't talk tonight. So I'm just going to shut it off because it's not that important. So once you get concussive shells, immediately get stim pack. When you get Marauder, and keep in mind, stim pack's useful in this case over combat shields because it affects both Marines and Marauders. So they can both stim, and Marauders actually are probably the best unit to stim with because they have a natural recharge on their attack, which is reduced by stim. So what that means is they move faster and attack more often, so you can stutter step them. Which I can explain in a second if you don't know. So once you get a decent little force, usually it's about 2 Marauders and 5 Marines or so, give or take, you can really go push and hit the Protoss pretty hard. If they've got a sentry on the high ground and force field the ramp, one thing you might want to do is save a little bit of energy, and you can throw down a scan right away. That scan's going to light up the high ground, and you can actually usually snipe a pylon or something like that. Okay, good thing you know about stutter stepping. Yeah, otherwise, also remember, pretty much when you're moving across the map, especially if you're macroing at the same time, always A-click over anything else. It's, oh god, I've had a couple of times where I've had like 200 supply armies, and I'm macroing back at base, what, I didn't A-click, and all of a sudden I ran into Colossi emplacement or Siege Tank emplacements, and everything just dies, and you're like, oh no, everything died, and then you just GG and rage quit, basically. Um, yeah, so let's see. That's the basics of a Turax build. It's not that hard. I can actually try and pull one off in a second if you'd like, especially if I'm playing versus Protoss. Otherwise, if you have any games, like if you want to ever send me replays or have me watch a custom game or whatever, um, I can definitely take care of that in a sec. Let's see, what is it? It's RNSC2 at Gmail. Okay. So you can send replays there, and then let me get you my login information for BattleNet so you can friend me. There's the character code. So, yeah, basically, it's a... Don't have anything right now I could show you, unfortunately. No worries. Like I said, if you just have any games like you're like, oh god, why did I lose to this so badly? What could I do? I'm by no means a pro player. I'm not great by any means, but like I said, I am gold, which will help you at least for bronze level play, that kind of stuff. Otherwise, if you wanted to play either a custom game where I observe you play versus a computer, or play versus you, or play versus your friend, a friend of yours or mine, or something like that, let me know, and I can probably figure that out at some point. We do like a Skype call or something like that. Um, but yeah, it's always good. Like I said, I'm trying to organize a tournament slash start streaming and all that, so just kind of fun stuff. But there's the contact information, which I think you can find. I should probably make like a Facebook page or something if I'm going to do this. But yeah, I otherwise you have my stream right here, which you can send messages to me on as well. So okay, so I'm going to go back into StarCraft now. Also, some players play without sound on. I personally really like it. It gives you some alert noises and whatnot, which I think are really useful. Um, the one thing is, don't rely on it too much. There's occasionally things that will happen, like one of the famous examples is Naniwa is playing, and I think it was TLO maybe, launched a nuke, and he threw down a force field, and for some reason in StarCraft, the force field sound is more important than the nuke sound. So even though it played the nuclear launch detected thing, the force field itself actually canceled that out. So he got nuked because he was relying on the sounds in that case. Oh, what do you know? A Protoss. Thank you, BattleNet. You gave me exactly what I wanted in this case. Um, so, and again, I haven't played Terran as much, so I may mess this build up a little bit, but it should give you the basic idea. Um,
Big job.
Okay. Oh crap, I stopped my workers mining. That's the one thing you have to be careful about. I'm used to having E as the command for build worker, and in this case it's actually S. But S is also the stop key. So if you're just like getting your fingers warmed up like I am here by making the boxes, what ends up happening is that, where they all stop mining and just stand there because you hit S while you had them selected. So it slows down your build a lot, actually, for a while. Oh, Dennis is online. Fergie Ferg. Dennis, are you on my stream right now? If not, you're a bitch and you're dead to me. Nah, I'm just kidding. I love Dennis. Okay, I probably should give you a cat. Yes, I is. So Dennis is on the stream too. Dennis is a friend of mine from school. He's also a mod on my channel, so he can relay messages and chat to me through BattleNet right now. Yay! I'm deputizing you to do bullshit right now. And, yeah. Otherwise, I'll tab out in a little bit.
Additional supply depots required.
Oh, hi, Infestus. Now you can just talk to me directly. That works.
Big job, huh?
Not enough minerals.
So sometimes you delay the barracks. I tend to like to get it up a little bit. It will slow down some of your tech, but it will let you get up a marine to stop any sort of early shenanigans that they might try and pull. Especially if you're pulling this off versus a Zerg or anything like that. It may be better. By the way, there is a lag between what I see and what you're going to see on the stream. That's normal. That's just part of the video encoding process. So don't, like, freak out about it, basically. It's not a big deal.
What's going on? SCV ready.
Da, 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 da.
Bad news. Gotcha.
Oh, he got his probe in the base, the bastard. Ooh, shit. Wrong one. Wrong one.
Ah, you scared me.
Oh, idiot. So if they ever get their worker in the mineral line, you can actually trap it pretty easily and just kill it with your workers. It delays, that happens to me too a lot, actually. I'll be like, oh, White Rise streaming, Day 9 streaming, I want to watch them. You know, if you're having, like, ladder anxiety, I think is what a lot of people call it, which is kind of a silly name. Best thing to do, probably, just, like, take a breath, you know, either go into custom games, which are less stress, or, I tend to say just kind of go for it, you know, just say, like, what the hell, you know, what's the worst thing that can happen? That being said, if you lose a couple and start raging, which I've been known to do on occasion, You can also take a break without anyone feeling worse about it.